Guys, if you haven't already, make sure to follow the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It helps us more than you could imagine.
We did want to actually discuss, because we briefly touched on it yesterday, which was the press conference.
Oh, yes.
And this isn't going to be an entirely boxing podcast. We'll get onto some other topics, of course, but it is obviously like the main thing in your life. You've been building up for this for a long time, and obviously one of the things that happens before these big fights is, of course, the press conference. Now, I did mention that you weren't able, you and Deji, because you're both UK citizens, you were unable to make it over there for the press conference. So instead, fair play to him. I'm glad they did this. I am glad. It wasn't ideal, but I'm glad they did it. They actually programmed you in. They channeled you in, and you were on a stand with a little TV. It had you on the right, Deji on the left of the TV, and everyone else was sort of sat there, almost like in an Alcoholics Anonymous, an AA meeting. Yeah. Everyone was sort of sat around in it was almost like show and tell. Remember when you went to school and it was show and tell? That was the vibe I got from this.
So was like when Ali spoke, was he coming out of like a speaker in the room?
No. So the way that they worded it to me was, I thought we were both in like a media room.
Yep.
And he's on one monitor. They're all on stage and Gibbert's on a monitor.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting. I don't know when like my cue to speak is. Yeah. Being on that.
And there's a delay, of course.
Yeah, there's a delay. So it first of all, Keemstar said, he was gassing me up. He's like, the UK is behind him. It's Gib. And it doesn't show me full screen. It like pans to the monitor. And it's just like, it's like me sat there. Do I speak now or then I'm full screen?
Oh, so it showed a picture of you on the monitor. Not you full screen.
No, Plankton when he talks to his wife. The wife computer monitor.
Hey, that's what I was. SpongeBob from this.
that's what I was. I was with the fucking freaky monitors.
Okay.
Yeah, and there was no questions about what's your mentality, how's the preparation. It was all questions. It was all what happens after. Boys, we're in the midst of the fight. Let's talk about the now.
Yeah,
right. Like, what happens after? What happens if you lose? What happens if you win? Boys, I got this guy that I'm trying to pepper. Talk to me about my preparation and my mentality. And there was Bryce Hall. He was the main event, and he was a bit fucking cringe.
No, okay, we'll get. I want to get on to that in a second, but I watched the press conference. I was out when it happened. I went for some dinner.
I unfortunately did miss it. I was out and I didn't watch it, but I did see the Bryce Hall stuff.
But I did get back and I watched the bit where you were chatting, and you know what? Because I've said it from the beginning, is that is your bread and butter, is the chatting and the waffling and the getting at people and just making sure things. And it is so difficult to do that over something, where you're a TV screen, you're delayed, everyone in person. It's hard to get.
Bro, there was moments where like we can't hear you, the crowd's making noise. So like,
what do you want me to do?
Yes, I have to repeat myself. There was a point when they asked me the question 3 times. What happens if you'll lose? I said, win, lose or draw, I love to fight. What happens if you'll lose? I just fucking said it, donut. So win, lose or draw, I love to fight. But Gib, what happens if you lose? They were so biased.
Yeah. But yes, no. So you did the press conference. Overall, look, it was only going to be as good as it could have been with the fact that you were on fucking like Zoom or whatever the hell it was, but then. Moving away from your fight a little bit, what are your thoughts on like the Austin versus Bryce fight in general? I just want to get your thoughts on
Bryce is gonna lose.
Really?
Badly.
Seriously?
He can't handle on the press conference day, bro. His nerves were all over the shop.
Yeah.
He wanted to be the center of attention, but he didn't know how to fight. Every time another fight was happening, he had to speak. And he can't like hold himself, and then you see there was no threat, and he had to get up and push. So when it comes to fight day, that's a wrap.
What did you think about the moment where he pushed him and it just went all to shit for Bryce?
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like he can't hold himself. He doesn't It's new, so he doesn't understand. Too emotional. Way too emotional.
How old is Bryce Hall? 21.
A bit younger than me. 21,
22,
something like that.
He's young. I feel like it's 21 to 23.
But anyway, it's not. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good.
Yeah,
he's got too much ego.
I think. Do you know what the issue was? I felt like so he was there, right, and he doesn't have any credentials over anyone else sitting at that table. He has never done a boxing fight before. Yeah. He was in really no position to chat shit about anyone else because ultimately he hadn't done this before. And he resorted to then saying, have you ever been in like a fight before? Like, and we're talking about like street fights here.
Says he's a street fighter, right?
Guys, it's so different to an actual fight, but it was just
That's not me.
That's me. Fuck's sake.
Chippo,
Guys,
is your mum calling you? Dinner's ready.
It's actually my brother. Sorry.
Well, your brother's gonna have to wait.
No,
Do you want to put that on silent?
Yeah, but I thought it was on
Anyways,
silent. Carry
I
on.
thought, sorry, yeah, it was just like he was giving it the Billy big bollocks about, you know, how much he's getting paid and whatever, and it sort of just reinforces the fact again about what you were saying is like these lot are literally here for the bag. They don't understand the work that goes in and the self-development that happens during it as well. And it didn't come across well. And then there became like the pinnacle of the press conference where Bryce Hall like stood up and then went to shove Austin.
Yeah.
He's a lot smaller than Austin as well, you know.
What
Really?
we're talking
Did you
like,
think so?
how
It
tall do you
looks
reckon
like
Austin is?
Austin
6+?
Yeah, I reckon
Yeah?
6, but even like size-wise, he's small.
Really?
Yeah, Bryce small.
Really?
Bryce
I
is
thought
small.
I thought Bryce was
How
quite
tall is
thick.
Bryce?
I thought Bryce was
He's
quite
my
thick.
height. I think he's my height.
He's your
I
height?
think he's my height,
Yeah, but you know you're not
But
the
he's
tallest
tiny.
guy.
He's
Yeah.
actually like even weight-wise, he's
Yeah.
tiny.
Right,
You think
right.
you think he's not muscle like? I thought he had
No,
like a
he-
decent body size. when I
Bro,
looked at him.
he's got.
Maybe I'm wrong
Well,
because
he
I
said
ain't seen him in person.
he said before he's done roids before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
think he's doing roids for this, but he looks like physically, he looks like a small guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
fair enough. No, that's it. And
That's
anyways,
why he pushed, and mass versus mass, he fell. He
yeah,
was
what
the-
happened there? What exactly?
Because he's small.
Right.
He's small, like, bro, if
It looked like he
who's
went
a
in for
small
like
guy?
a
If
weight grab or
Max,
something like that. Waist.
if Max,
Well,
no,
Chippo.
sorry, I love Max. Yeah, if Max tries to push Finch,
yeah.
Yeah.
no one in the podcast knows, but a small guy pushes a big guy. The force ain't doing anything.
Yeah.
The Big Show Rey Mysterio. Yeah, if Rey Mysterio,
I can't believe you just compared him to that.
if
Man.
Rey
That's fucking
Mysterio
rude.
pushes Big Show, nothing's happening.
Yeah,
Nothing's
yeah,
happening.
yeah.
Force
Sure.
meets force, nothing's happening.
It's the
Big push
difference
and he
that
fell.
big. It's the difference that big though. Like if you actually look at them, is the difference really that
It's not
big?
like
It's not that,
It's
but-
not that
No,
big.
but even still,
it's not
it's-
that big. But he's small. He's
Like-
small. He's a smaller human being than
Yeah.
Austin.
What? So
Yeah.
he's not tall. Bryce Hall's not tall.
No.
No.
Your height.
So how do you see that? So what I saw was though, I just like I get it. Okay, so you think that Bryce Hall is going to get peppered as well? Now,
Peppered.
okay,
Big
but
pepper.
I don't think Austin's going to be that great.
No, neither
either.
do
No,
I. I
they're
think
not
this
going to
could
be.
go either
Listen,
way,
listen.
man.
The best fight is going to be me versus. Tim.
It is. It genuinely is.
That is
That's not even capped for
No.
the sake of promoting your fight, by
No.
the way, or the fact that I know Gib. I'm talking about you look at experience of Gib. You were the most experienced on the card, right? And then you look at what we've seen already of Taylor Holder. He is by far, and even if you listen to the press conference, everyone already says Taylor Holder is by far the best on that card in terms of opponents, right? So you just take those two. Your fight is by an absolute long shot is going to be the most skilled fight.
Because everyone else has had, I think, 2 months of training.
Right.
Well, how long have you had? Oh,
Sorry.
no,
Silent.
no, no.
2
Nah,
months
so
of
kidding.
training.
How-
yes.
so,
2
so,
months.
so what we talk? How long have you been training now? Give boxing for what we got 3, 4, 3 years. Yeah, and
2018.
it's
Yeah,
just,
well, since
and
then,
for the
yeah.
most part, it's been like pretty consistent, non-stop. You
Yeah.
know, you will have had maybe a couple months break here and there, but you've been non-stop going. You barely upload FIFA anymore. You are literally solely boxing focused. Like you have got experience.
I love it.